Let me ask you a direct question. If something happened to you tomorrow, would your portfolio survive without selling assets? Not in theory, not on paper, in reality. Because here's what most real estate investors don't realize. Real estate is a highly leveraged business, and leverage magnifies risk, not just returns. You insure your properties as your lenders may require the coverage, but very few investors engineer liquidity into their structure, and that's where portfolios collapse. My name is Cardine. I work with real estate principals, investors, developers, and operators with layered corporate structures, debt exposure, and partnership agreements. My role is simple: to ensure that the wealth you've built can withstand death, disability, tax triggers, and partner transitions without forced liquidation. This is not insurance sales. This is structural risk design. Let's walk through what actually happens in real life. A principal dies unexpectedly. Immediately, CRA triggers a deemed disposition. Estate taxes become payable. Shareholder agreements require buyouts. Lenders reassess exposure. Partners need clarity. Family members need liquidity. But here's the issue. Most portfolios are asset-rich and cash-poor. The solution becomes obvious and painful. Sell assets, refinance under pressure, or scramble for capital. I've seen portfolios worth $20 million, $30 million, even $50 million forced into rushed sales because no liquidity plan existed. Not because the assets were bad, but because the structure wasn't funded. Let's be clear. Trusts do not create liquidity. Holding companies do not create liquidity. LP structures do not create liquidity. They create order. But without funding, that order is fragile. And in leveraged real estate, fragility spreads fast. One event can trigger covenant reviews, freeze accounts, force buy-sell disputes, create tax liabilities larger than available cash. Most investors believe their estate will figure it out, but estates don't negotiate with the CRA, and banks don't pause or forgive obligations. So what's the solution? Liquidity engineering. We design what I call a legacy protection plan. It integrates corporate-owned life insurance, funded buy-sell architecture, estate tax modeling, trust alignment, holdco and opco structuring, and lender covenant analysis. But here's the difference. We don't just place coverage, we map it to the balance sheet. We analyze entity ownership, shareholder agreements, debt ratios, estate projections, deemed disposition exposure, partner obligations. Then we engineer liquidity directly into the structure, not just personally owned policies sitting outside the corporation, not generic coverage, but targeted funding designed to pay estate taxes, fund shareholder buyouts, protect lenders, stabilize investor and family relationships, and preserve enterprise and estate value. When structured properly, insurance becomes strategic capital. It can enter the corporation tax efficiently. It can fund agreements automatically. It can eliminate forced asset sales entirely. That's not theory, that's design. Let me give you a real-world scenario. A client held approximately $28 million in real estate assets, multiple corporations, 2 active partners, significant leverage. We model the estate exposure, projected tax liability, just over $1.4 million, available corporate liquidity at death, under $400,000. Without planning, they would have needed to liquidate performing assets. Instead, we structured corporate-owned permanent coverage aligned with the holding entity. When the principal passed unexpectedly 2 years later, the policy paid tax-free proceeds directly into the corporation. Taxes were paid, no properties were sold. The buy-sell agreement executed cleanly. Lenders remained stable. The family inherited structure, not chaos. That is what engineered liquidity looks like. This works for new investors and small portfolios, but this is essential, a must for principals with $10 million and more in real estate assets, layered corporate structures, active partnerships, or JV arrangements. debt exposure and/or estate complexity. If you are central, the mastermind, to your portfolio, you are also its largest risk variable. The larger the enterprise, the more fragile it becomes without funding. The next step is not buying anything. It is a structured liquidity review. We examine corporate design, shareholder agreements, estate tax projections, existing coverage, debt exposure, and structural alignment. In many cases, we find unfunded buy-sell clauses, underinsured key principles, misaligned ownership structures, estate tax exposure exceeding available liquidity. From there, we design a funding framework that integrates with your legal and tax advisors. This is a collaborative process, not a replacement of your advisory team. Real estate builds wealth deliberately, but continuity does not happen automatically. It must be engineered. The question is not whether your portfolio performs well today. The real question is, if something unexpected happened, would a liquidity crisis dictate the outcome, or would structure protect it? If you hold significant real estate assets, layered corporate entities, or active partnerships, it is prudent to assess whether your current design is resilient. The next step is simple. Book a private chat to explore what might work for your situation. This is not a sales call. It is a structured conversation where we review your current entity structure, discuss partnership and shareholder exposure, examine estate tax projections, identify liquidity gaps, determine whether engineered funding is appropriate. If there is alignment, we move forward strategically. If not, you leave with clarity. Either way, you gain insight into the durability of your portfolio. Click below to schedule a confidential discussion, because legacy is not about how much you build, it's about whether it survives you. What is your scenario?